Hey guys, this is Arsenal Giants PS3 and this is episode 17 of Season 4 of our FIFA 12 Sunderland Manager Mode commentary, and we are now dwindling into the latter stages of the month of March. We have 3 matches for you this episode, and they are all in the Premier League, some pretty tough matches, and after coming out of that Champions League match against Barcelona on top and qualifying for the next round of the Champions League, I am pretty confident, but we do have some tough matches. First off, we have an away match against Arsenal, followed by a home match against Newcastle, the Tyne and Wear derby, so that's a very tough match. And then we have an away match against Fulham, which is my old team. So all some very competitive matches and should be very interesting. So in the Premier League, we are in second place with 60 points, 3 points behind the table toppers Manchester City. And at the bottom of the table is poor West Bromwich Albion with 18 points. Oh, what a shame for them. But anyway, on to the squad report now, and I do like to get this out, say, every 3 episodes, just so you guys have a clear indication on what players are making progress and which players which aren't making any progress at all. So players such as, Thibaut Courtois, Nathaniel Klein, Dede and Ogbonna have huge potential and are actually reaching their potential, whereas players such as Clichy, Alan Zagoyev actually has a reasonably good potential but has only been in the team for a short amount of time, and Yunus Belhanda, he's also been in the team for a slightly longer period of time but isn't really making any potential. Then you got players like James Milner, Fernandinho and Kevin Gamera, who are actually quite old and not really going to make that much progress. Players like Simon Mignolet and Nikolai Bolson, who are making slight progress, and then you got all the other players who are either quite old or aren't really that high, and overall that their progress is really very interesting. So that was the squad report, and now for goal of the episode. Now this was actually surprisingly close between the Alan Zagoyev goal against Barcelona. That was some beautiful passing leading up to that goal, and also the Nemanja Vidic header, which I didn't score it, the AI scored it, so it was pretty close, but in the end the Alan Zagoyev goal came out on top. So thank you guys for leaving a comment on that. But anyway, on to our first match now against Arsenal, and I swear I say this every single time I play against Arsenal, their team, and to put it bluntly, looks crap. They've got Chamakh up front, they've got Javinho, who, is kind of on and off, he's kind of an average player. They got Raumiaki. Yes, they have players like Theo Walcott and Fabio Contrao, but their team just looks like crap, and I say it every time, and of course every time they take the lead against me. This time Javinho just smashing it past Thibaut Courtois, he couldn't do anything really about it. I think it goes through the legs of either Ogbonna or Nathaniel Klein, but I say it every single time, and then I always struggle against Arsenal because I don't know why. When you play teams from the Spanish league, from La Liga, and they always control the possession and it's really hard to play against them, that's like playing against Arsenal. Somehow EA have managed to just screw in the whole La Liga sort of philosophy into Arsenal. I mean, that is true, but it's just so frustrating because they just keep the ball and you can't ever get it. I have loads of chances here. Kevin Gamera with a shot. It's a pretty good save by Wojciech Szczesny, but just playing against Arsenal is sometimes really annoying, not because they've got a far superior team to you, but just they keep possession, and they came really close here. Chamakh hitting the post, Thibaut Courtois not getting anywhere close to it, and at half time it was 1-0 to Arsenal. There weren't too many chances. Obviously I had a couple of chances and Arsenal had that great chance with Chamakh, but there wasn't too many really obvious chances, but Arsenal just kept on keeping possession, kept on keeping the ball. Javinho with some surprisingly very good dribbling. I mean, he's an alright dribbler, but he just looks like a headless chicken sometimes. But Arsenal do keep the ball, and I was all over the place and trying to just keep hold of Arsenal with tackles. Maybe I was playing awfully at the time, but it was really proving an impossible effort, and Walcott put in the back of the net a really great strike there. Again, maybe Thibaut Courtois could have done something a little bit more with that, but it goes past him. And at 2-0 against Arsenal, and Arsenal at the Emirates, I couldn't really see myself getting back into this match. It's really hard playing against them. Kevin Gamera managed to break from Scott Dan and Thomas Vermaelen, not exactly the most awesome central defensive partnership, but it was just really hard to play against them. I'm going to keep on saying that because it really was. And then I just give away the most stupid penalty I could give ever. I think it was Clichy who actually gave it away. Yeah, Clichy gets a yellow card for the tackle, and there aren't any complaints here. I just took the player out there, and it is a penalty. And of all players, Park Chu-young steps up and of course blasts it over. What do you expect from that? What are you expecting when you got Park Chu-young taking the penalty? We had a couple more chances. Lucas Podolski, who came on as a substitute, had a shot. It was pretty well saved by Wojciech Szczesny, and that was the last chance of the match. It did finish 2-0, so a pretty disappointing result, but I'm not really complaining too much. And Xherdan Shaqiri is now back from suspension, so that is absolutely awesome because he is a player that we have been missing very badly. Although we did have him against Barcelona in the Premier League, we have not had him. So now we're on to our second match against Newcastle, the Tyne and Wear derby, and I'm very happy to have Shaqiri back, as I've said. But yet again, I do start off the match reasonably positively, pick up the ball and look at that through ball over the top to Xherdan Shaqiri, all the time and space in the world. Fernandinho coming in, I tried to take it on the finesse shot, and then Fernandinho heads it onto the post. All he had to do was just get a little bit more accuracy on that, but there was the obvious chance of passing it across. Maybe I should have taken that opportunity. Newcastle had a few chances of their own. Jermaine Defoe threw on goal there, but the chance wasn't really that great, and the shot was kind of not really, didn't have that much power on it. And now this penalty, I give away a lot of penalties, by the way, guys. I do that all the time. This penalty I did not think was a true penalty. Ogbonna gets a red card for it, which is really harsh. Now in that replay it looks like a penalty, but then look at that. He gets the ball perfectly, and then the player also gets caught in the tackle, and Newcastle have the penalty, and of course Jermaine Defoe puts it in the back of the net. So I am feeling really harshed by this. Harshed? What the hell? I'm feeling very aggravated by this point, because I've had my greatest centre-back sent off, and I'm very frustrated at this point, guys. As I always get on FIFA, I get very frustrated, but what a counter-attack, and Xherdan Shaqiri equalises for us with only 10 men, and I just, at this point I was literally screaming up and down, like, oh my god, I can't believe I scored, because, a team such as Sunderland, and the team I've developed, is incredibly strong on the counter-attack, and we actually score a lot of our goals from the counter-attack. We have a great chance here. First of Xherdan Shaqiri had the shot, and then Fernandinho tried to follow it up, but couldn't quite get it in the back of the net. Couldn't really get that much power on the shot, and in the end it was half-time, 1-1. But I was feeling pretty confident at this point. Williams with the shot, then has a shot, hits the post, and comes off Tim Krul. I think it's Krul. It might be a different goalkeeper that they've brought in. And I just had to see this on an extra replay, because this is just hilarious. It hits the post, and then comes off Krul into the back of the net. In fact, I don't think it is Krul, but, I don't know, so you might want to correct me on that. But of course, Newcastle, I only had 10 men, so I was very susceptible at the back, and I did realise this, so I decided to change around the formation and go to my sweaty Chelsea formation with 5 defenders at the back, and I brought on Clichy and Hovland for Fernandinho and Kevin Gamero, just to keep this 2-1 lead, because I'm pretty happy with this 2-1. Yes, I might be sweating out. Yes, I'm at home. But, this formation was working perfectly. There were tackles all over the pitch, and Newcastle, for absolutely ages, did not have a chance at all. I mean, just look at these tackles all over the pitch. Hovland, and I decided to bring off Zagoyev for Amalfitano, because Zagoyev's fitness was running pretty low. So we were just keeping them out, and Newcastle really couldn't create any genuine chances whatsoever. Fletcher on the shot there, straight over Courtois' bar. Courtois didn't have to do anything about it, and I genuinely thought that this was it. I had pulled this off, but Atuhu on the ball now goes for the shot, and Courtois pulls off the spectacular. You thought they were going to equalise there. I knew you did. I set that up for that, but at full time it did finish 2-1 to Sunderland, so a really important 3 points at home in the derby. It might have been slightly sweaty, but I don't care. But sadly, Ogbonna is actually out for 3 matches with that red card. I wish you could appeal for those red cards, because that was not a red card in hell. Perhaps it should have been a yellow card and a penalty. I wasn't even sure it was a penalty, to be quite honest. But anyway, on to our third and final match of the episode against Fulham, my old team, and I am quite genuinely surprised that Fulham seem to be struggling so much. I mean, they're almost in the bottom 3 of the Premiership, and I can't tell why, to be honest. Their strike force of Darren Bent and Kenwyne Jones is actually quite strong. They have players such as El Shaarawy and Kasami, who has huge potential in the update that I'm on, and I'm just quite surprised they're struggling so much. I mean, they had an opening chance there with El Shaarawy, but pulled well wide of the post, and I had a chance with Oxlade-Chamberlain, just chipped it over to Lucas Podolski, and why did he take the touch? I told him to shoot straight away, and he took the touch. Obviously, he's not feeling too confident with his left foot in this episode, but I just wanted to take that straight away, and because we missed the opportunity, Kenwyne Jones went up the field and put Fulham 1-0 up, and I was pretty frustrated with that, because we had the chance, we should have taken it, and when you don't take your chances, that's what's going to happen. And yet again, Fulham on the attack a little bit after. There wasn't too many highlights in this first half, And again, we give away a penalty. I was penalty crazy in this episode. I was giving penalties away left, right and centre. We're going to have a quick replay of this, and it's actually, I don't know, it kind of looks like a penalty. It probably is a penalty, and Darren Bent steps up and puts it in the back of the net. Courtois got so close to that and probably should have stopped it. I don't know, was a bit unlucky there, but we tried to go on the counter-attack. We tried to get straight back into this match just before the stroke of half-time. Oxlade-Chamberlain, I'm going to think, okay, going to sweat this out, and Alan Zagoyev, how did you miss that? It was a relatively poor pass, but the shot was just terrible, and I couldn't believe that I didn't take the opportunity. And Hatem Bonafra, a pretty quality player actually on FIFA 12, he does some pretty nice dribbling, but we do manage to clear it out eventually, just on the stroke of half-time. Still, half-time seems to last an incredibly long time, but yet again, I'm going to go for the sweaty goal. Oxlade-Chamberlain down the flank, pass it across to Xherdan Shaqiri, and he puts it in the back of the net to finally get us a goal, and I was so thankful to get that goal just before half-time, because otherwise this was going to be a real uphill struggle. And I brought on Bamba for Dede, because Dede's stamina was running very low at this point, and I had to bring him off. But we're on the counter once again, and I really want to get back into this match. And Oxlade-Chamberlain through on goal, and he just smashes it past the keeper to equalise for us. And that was a really nice goal, a really nice through ball, and then a brilliant finish past the keeper. Keeper couldn't do anything about it. And I was thinking, right, I can not only equalise and get back into this, I can now go on to win this match. And I had a whole host of chances. James Milner had his shot blocked there, and yet again, Kevin Gamera lays it off to Milner, and what a save that was. I have to see that on replay. It was a great shot from Milner past the defenders, and what a save that was. That is some pretty specialist stuff right there. But I was on the attack continually. Fulham just seemed to think, okay, now we're just going to hold out for the 2-2. We did manage to take a 2-0 lead, but now we're just happy with what we have. And when you're playing football, you can't have that attitude. Fernandinho through on goal, takes it past the keeper, and with that left foot puts it in the back of the net to yet again, for another time in my Sunderland Manager Mode series, steal all the 3 points in the final minute. And I couldn't believe that I got that goal, because it happens so often, but it's not over yet. Fulham do have a free kick. Martin Kelly whips the ball into the box. Hatem Bonafra wins the header and then lays it off to Freddie Montero. He has a shot, and my God, can you get any closer than that? Comes off the post and just rolls across the goal line. It was so close to equalising, but at full time it was Sunderland 3-2, and yet again I stole all 3 points. That was a really important steal of 3 points there that keeps us 3 points behind Manchester City in the title race. So it is really heating up at the top. Arsenal are only 3 points behind us, so it is really heating up at the top. So now for goal of the episode, and there weren't too many great goals in this episode. We did have the Xherdan Shaqiri goal against Newcastle over the top and in the back of the net. That was a pretty nice goal. And then we have the Oxlade-Chamberlain goal to equalise against Fulham. It was a great strike in the top corner. Goalkeeper couldn't do anything about it. I was actually tempted to put the Fernandinho goal, which made it 3-2, but in all honesty, he just took it past the keeper and then put it into an open net. It wasn't really that great. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching this episode, and for player of the episode, I want you guys to leave a comment on which player you think should be player of the episode, because, you know, there wasn't really a player who really stood out to me. I can't really pick Courtois because we actually conceded a lot. I can't pick a centre-back, a left-back, or a right-back because we just gave away a host of goals. We conceded a lot, and we had penalties conceded, so I can't really pick a centre-back. And in terms of a striker or a midfielder, there wasn't really anyone that great either. So I'm going to allow you guys the chance to pick player of the episode, and hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, if you could leave a comment or a like or anything at all, it'd be greatly appreciated. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.